Adam Lerner, and today I'm here to talk to you guys about a little behind the scenes video that my assistant Richie made actually with a GoPro while we were doing a shoot in New York City. This is the behind the scenes video of a shoot that we did for Bass Shoes. This is what's called, like, I guess, a soft styling shoot, or where we're shooting off body, as they say, where we're predominantly just shooting product. And a lot of this stuff is being used for Bass promotional stuff. A lot of what Bass is doing is they're relaunching their whole Weegens line, and the entire crew is getting a free pair of Weegens from this shoot, because it was kind of a crazy day, and we went really late and we went really long, but we knocked it out. As you guys can see, this is a fairly massive studio. I mean, this is probably 1,500 square feet, this giant loft building downtown in Manhattan. And we had a lot of leeway. We had this giant cyc wall here, and we were using some really, really nice lights. We had a Profoto bi-tube head as our key light here on a 7-foot Elinchrom modifier there. We had this giant softbox over here, which I don't even know how big it was. Maybe a 6-foot by 4-foot, or maybe even larger softbox. Fantastic. And basically we had the product over here, and as you can see, there's quite a lot of setup that goes on. I mean, in this whole back area here, that's where the product is. It's predominantly shoes, but we also, as the day wore on, we did some stuff on flats where we were shooting some outfits as well. Right now you can see one of the production assistants over here painting these pallets and painting some other props as well. And we've put this ladder in place over here. And the purpose of that ladder is, you can also notice that the product is on this angle. And the idea is for me to go up on that ladder and to be able to shoot straight down onto the product to make it look like I'm shooting completely overhead. Now, there's plenty of ways to achieve this, maybe even more easily. But you know, this set didn't really call for that. I mean, you can get a camera stand where you have the camera on a stand where it's kind of on a 90-degree angle to wherever you're working, but the difficulty is that you're dealing everything remotely. You have to manage the camera remotely, and then you've also got the stylist who's got to bend all the way down to the floor, whereas at least where there's some elevation on the product, it makes it a little bit easier. And styling all these different shots is kind of a big deal. It's a long day. As you can see, I'm going, up and down on this ladder to take the shots, and then when I'm kind of up close there, I'm doing some macro shots. That means I've changed lenses, I'm going in and I'm shooting detail. This whole region here in the center, this is our I guess computer cart, and that's where we've got our computer, and actually we've got a bunch of computers up there. We've got all the camera gear, we've got extra batteries, pocket wizards. That's kind of command central. And while we're shooting tethered the entire time. That means that there's a cable that's going from my camera directly into the computer so that we can not preview the images as they come out. And we've even got right here a secondary monitor setup. So this is kind of like the workstation for me and my assistant. And then we've got this monitor here, and that's for the art director and all of the other marketing people to be able to look at the images. And you can see we take a shot and then we kind of huddle around here. Now the art director also, he's got his computer workstation over here. There's some other folks that are working back here at this table, and then you've got the stylists over here and the product folks that are working on the product. So all in all, there's probably, I don't know, maybe 20 or so people that are involved in this shoot just specifically for this brand. So it's kind of a big production, and I can tell you that styling product is no joke. Just being able to have the ability to visualize things like, random shoes, and be able to understand how to not only assemble them in a way that looks appealing, but also to assemble them when you're thinking about it from the camera's point of view. And I can tell you that the stylist on so many occasions would sit there and he would kind of frame his hands, and he would be looking at the product that he laid onto the board here with the idea in mind that it was a photographic frame. And I can tell you that this team of stylists was probably some of the best we've ever worked with. We've worked with them before, and you know, he's just got such an incredible eye and a real knack for this kind of stuff. And interestingly, with product stuff, there's so many nuances to how you want to place the product on the board, all the different tools that they use in order to get the product set down. There's so many little tricks of the trade, and it's interesting because, you know, as a photographer, you get to pick up all of their little tricks and at least kind of catch on to what they're doing, which is cool. One thing I can say is that shooting in a space like this is just fantastic because we've got so much room to move about. We've got so much latitude in here where we can really kind of spread out. We can use really, really huge light modifiers, which I love. And the whole point in using these big light modifiers is that, you know, you've got a much softer light. You've got a much, you know, better shadow fall off, at least for this kind of a shoot. Now, granted, if we were doing something that was more intense, you know, we might use something, you know, like that would give a much more specular kind of a light. But we wanted to get like really nice even shadows, really, really clean and consistent look with not a lot of shape. And what I mean by that is if you look at the imagery, you don't want there to be like, you know, a big shadow falling off to one side or another. You don't want to shape the product. A lot of this product is going to be silhouetted out, or it's going to be silhouetted out of the images. So the idea for shooting this stuff is that, you know, we want to try to shoot the images as clean as possible. And what I mean by that is that, you know, my goal is that I want to be able to deliver these images as cleanly as possible so that when the art director and his team and all the retouchers are working on the images, that they can very easily, you know, grab these images, that they're clean, and that they can place them into whatever, you know, type of layout that they're trying to use. And interestingly, the stylist also has that in mind. So, you know, we go through this whole thing. Stylist gets everything set up. He sets it on the board. Then we take the images. The images go tethered to the computer. They go onto the screen. The art director looks at them. If they're okay, we proceed with the shot. Once the shot's done, then we get the marketing people to come over. Marketing people look at the image, you know, and basically it's a powwow. So it's kind of a long process. And the difference, too, when you're shooting soft styling like this or off-body stuff, is that the preparation is actually probably more involved than each individual shot. So each individual shot can take quite a lot of time. Whereas, to give you an example, if we were shooting, let's say, fashion catalog with models that was on body, meaning that they're wearing the actual product on their bodies, there's typically a few different models, and while one model is being shot, another one is being dressed and styled, so that as soon as you finish with one look, you get another model up there, and it's just this continuous rotation. In a situation like this, because of the set and because of the situation here, you really have to spend a lot of time, you know, crafting each one of these shots, and all of the items have to be in place just exactly right. You know, if something's tipping off to one side or leaning up, or there's a weird random reflection, whatever the case may be, all that kind of stuff has to be addressed. And, you know, that's really what happens when you've got kind of an ace cracking team, is, you know, everybody is working together to try to get the best possible shot that they can get, you know, knowing that we've got just a ton of work to do, and only, you know, in this case, there was only really one day to do it. You know, again, you know, working in such a nice environment like this, it gives you a lot of flexibility. It allows for us to really kind of, you know, have the space that we need to be able to do what we need to do. And now you can see that we've worked on to, you know, we've moved on to this flat board here. Now we've got actual clothing down there. And, you know, this is you know, I guess Bass also does clothing as well. So we're shooting some of that here. And, you know, again, you know, the idea here is that the reason why we're shooting on these painted boards is because they wanted the boards to have a specific texture. And a lot of what they do is they shoot, or we shoot on textured things, like we've shot on sailcloth or things like that, or we'll shoot on a white background, and then they will, in post, they'll put the images, they'll silo them out and they'll put them on, maybe a background that looks like wooden planks or whatever the case may be. So again, the idea being is to get the nicest, cleanest images. Now we're shooting, I was shooting all Hasselblad, so really nice, nice resolution, nice focus, great white balance on all that kind of stuff. We had fantastic lighting. I think we had probably about, I don't know, let's say 6 or 8 heads, probably about 8 heads going, or 8 packs. So we had really good light. We were using, we weren't using a ton of power, so we could really manage our lights really well. And as you can see, like right now in this point in the video, we are probably about, I don't know, maybe 10 hours into the day or so, which is, it's a long shooting day because you're on your feet all day. Obviously, hiking up and down the ladder. You got the stylists that are kind of going back and forth continuously. There's not really a whole lot of like downtime in the sense that you're doing nothing, but there is a lot of time in between. So you just have to stay focused and keep on it, and just make sure that no matter what goes on, that you're going to deliver the absolute best product and best imagery that you can. And I can say that working for Bass is like probably one of my favorite things. I love this client. I work with a bunch of other clients within the same parent company, all of which are fantastic. And this is just a lot of fun. And it's always nice to be in a massive studio space like this. And I'm really glad that this time Richie was able to capture the day. And now you can see we're starting to take down. Actually, are we? Yeah, we're starting to break it down over here, and this is the best part because it took so long to get everything set up and tested, and then you watch the breakdown and it's just like instantaneous. I mean, everything happens just so incredibly quickly that all of that hard work is just over in just a matter of minutes, which obviously everybody's trying to get home and get out of there because it's been a long day, but it's kind of fun watching it all sped up like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this as much as I did. Hope that gives you some insight to the behind the scenes of an off-body fashion photo shoot in New York City. That's it for now, and we'll see you soon.